English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar. Today we have to talk about why is Buddhism in news. See, if you are a serious UPSC aspirant, you will know UPSC loves Buddhism. They love to ask questions on Buddhism, be it UPSC prelims or mains, even for other exams. Buddhism is a very important topic. So we'll talk about why Buddhism is in news, in current affairs. But before we talk about this particular news per se, let's take a question on Buddhism asked by UPSC. They ask it almost every year, every alternate year. So this is a question related to what is Nirvana. We keep on hearing about this particular term, Nirvana, Mahaparinirvana, Mahabhinishkramana, Dharmchakravartana. So what is Nirvana in Buddhism? So if you know the answer of this particular question, you can post it in the comment section. I will tell you the answer before the end of this particular session. We'll talk about why Buddhism is in news. It is in current affairs. We'll also take one particular question from that current affairs. You will solve that particular question and you will see whether you're getting it correct or not. So first of all, let's talk about this issue, the news. Archaeologists find 1.4 meter tall Buddha head in Odisha. Say dig is only getting started. It's like we are just getting started, bro. You just wait and see what more we are unearthing. So again, 1.4 meter tall Buddha head, and people are saying that maybe, and there are speculations going on, that this is the biggest head not only in Odisha, but there are chances. Detailed study, if you can see it here, detailed study is needed to determine whether the Buddha head in Ratnagiri. What is Ratnagiri? What is Diamond Triangle? There are so many keywords here, like which kind of Buddhism it promoted, Vajrayana Buddhism, let's say. So what is the concept of Vajrayana Buddhism? What is conventional truth? What is ultimate truth? What is, the Lama concept or the Guru concept in Vajrayana Buddhism? So there are so many things which we have to talk about, and we'll talk about it in just few moments from now. First of all, let's have a look at what this, article is saying. So they are saying that we need to study more to determine whether Buddha head in Ratnagiri is the largest ever found in India. And some people even are going to an extent to say that this is the biggest head or biggest Buddha head found in the world. So we have to, and that's why anything which is biggest, largest, first, they are very important. And you have to remember not only Ratnagiri, but Diamond Triangle in general. So what is this Diamond Triangle? We'll talk about it. A team of archaeologists, students and laborers began excavations at Ratnagiri, which is in Jajpur district. Everything related to Ratnagiri is important. We'll hear a mnemonic today, which is known as URL. That URL will help you in remembering the Diamond Triangle. So Jajpur district on December 1, 2024, and there was so many resistance to it. See, when you read historiography, way of writing history, etc., you will realize there are two sources. One is archaeology, other is literary sources. Archaeology, when you're doing excavation, like which is being run and what we are reading right now. Literary sources is when you talk about indigenous books, foreign books, narrative text, didactic text, etc., etc. So archaeology, many people say that whatever we find in archaeology, like we have found this Buddha head, this is just, again, tip of the iceberg. Because there are so many resistance, so many people are residing in certain areas. It's not like, let's say I'm making this particular video in Gurgaon, beyond this particular land, God knows what is unearthed or what is hidden inside, but we cannot dig every area, any and every area. So there is a limitation to archaeology, which we'll talk about in just few moments from now. We maybe know only 1%, 0.1%, and most of the things are hidden if we talk about archaeology in general. And that's why in history we say that we have to corroborate archaeological sources with literary sources to arrive at a definite picture. Corroborate is a very famous word in history. So discovery of a massive Buddha head, we are talking about this particular article. The team discovered an intact Buddha head. Again, you can read all these things, the measuring and what is the length and breadth of this Buddha head. The important point here is this Ratnagiri means hill of jewels, and it is part of Diamond Triangle. This is very important. So Diamond Triangle, as triangle suggests, three places we are talking about: Udaygiri, Lalitgiri and Ratnagiri. And the easiest mnemonic, we talk about cheat code, we talk about mnemonics, easiest mnemonic for you will be URL, Uniform Resource Locator, I guess. So Udaygiri, you can talk about, R is Ratnagiri, L is Lalitgiri. So URL will help you in remembering this Diamond Triangle. Since it is in news, it is important from every exam perspective. Whether you are a UPSC aspirant or non-UPSC aspirant, doesn't matter. This news is important. And you can can see the diamond triangle here, Lalitgiri, Udayagiri, Ratnagiri, and this is important. So site was strategically chosen for Buddhist monastic settlements, and it is said that this Ratnagiri in particular, and again all these three diamond triangle sites, they promoted Vajrayana Buddhism a lot. In Vajrayana Buddhism, they talk about two kind of truths. One is conventional truth. You should know this because they can ask you. The theory of conventional truth and ultimate truth is associated with which form of Buddhism? So conventional truth, ultimate truth. Conventional truth is what we are seeing from our external senses. Ultimate truth is when you attain Nirvana, and then what? Sometimes this happens. See, you can understand it from like simple perspective also. Sometimes when we are very naive, we are not experienced, we take things at face value, we, abruptly take decisions, but as we gain experience in life, we start realizing things are happening for a bigger picture. We mellow down a bit. So that's how you can understand conventional truth and ultimate truth. Conventional truth, what your external senses are perceiving at a particular moment. Ultimate truth, which you are gaining after attaining Nirvana. So conventional and ultimate truth, these things are there in Vajrayana Buddhism. You have to understand, and they have a concept of guru in Vajrayana Buddhism, and that guru is known as Lama. So now if I ask you, Dalai Lama is a proponent of which form of Buddhism? Vajrayana Buddhism, Hinayan, Mahayana, etc. So you can paste it in the you can post it in the comment section if you know it. So these are some important things related to Vajrayana Buddhism which we should know. So historical record states Ratnagiri's Buddhist activities back to 5th century AD, flourishing until 13th century. So this is actually a very big period, almost approximately around 800 years. Now challenges we are talking about, this is archaeology. This is one source, archaeology, literary. We are talking about archaeology source. See, villagers in this particular area, they have unearthed so many of these stupas and Buddhist relics. So some of them they are using for basis for tulsi plant. Some of them they are using as decorative piece in their house because it looks cool. So archaeologist ASI is like, sir, please sir, return these artifacts sir. They have a bigger meaning sir. But the local people, and you can understand, it's not a matter of joke also, they are like, sir, please stop doing these excavations. You are taking away our private property. You are disturbing our day-to-day life. This tuk which you are doing beside us, we don't like this noise. Our student has to study, sir. What are you doing? Please don't do this, sir. So again, there are so many issues which you have to understand when these kind of things happen. So there is a conflict which is going on between villagers and authorities. You have this point also you have to understand from mains perspective when you are writing answer. Archaeology is easier said than done. So some villagers resist excavation as it encroaches on their land. Others demand compensation for loss of private land. Government is like, now this is a government property, so I will give you government price. And people are like, dude, private price is much higher. A private price of this particular land is much higher than the government price. So there are so many other issues which crops up, and yes, we have to settle these issues. Central and state government have to come together, and that is what is written here. And we have to view Ratnagiri, URL, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri and Lalitgiri as an interconnected Buddhist heritage site, and that will help us a lot in connecting the dots and in preserving these precious relics and means sculptures. Fine. So now let's talk about Buddhism per se. Diamond triangle is the important part here. URL is the mnemonic which will help you in remembering these sites. We'll talk and we'll take one particular question related to this article also. At the starting, I have given you this particular question, which one of the following describe best the concept of Nirvana? So the answer is extinction of flame of desire. So like they say that when there are two things related to Buddhism, Arya Sachini and Ashtangika Marg. Arya Sachini, there is suffering. First point, there are 4 points in Arya Sachini. First point, there is suffering. Second point, there is cause of suffering rather. Third point, there is solution of suffering. Fourth point, the solution of suffering lies in following Ashtangika Marg, that is eightfold path. And how will you remember Ashtangika Marg? By following this mnemonic: visa lame, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, or right meditation, or right concentration. So visa lame, that is important. Extinction of flame of desire. Let's say you become an IAS or IPS officer, then you will want a better cadre. Once you get a better cadre, then you will want a wife. Once you get a wife, again, the desires never end. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And that is what Dada J.P. Vaswani sir is saying. If you know who Dada J.P. Vaswani sir is, you can post it in the comment section. What is he saying? And what Buddhism defines Nirvana as? Being free from desire, pain, pleasure, etc. It is like an extinction of flame of desire. Once you annihilate this desire, I got A, I want B, now I want C and D, and again, we have to keep a tab on this. Desire is never satisfied by the enjoyment of objects of desire, because these objects, they will fuel further more desires. It grows from more to more, as does the fire to which fuel is added. So now let's take the question based on what current affairs we have read just now. Consider the following statements regarding the diamond triangle of Odisha, Ratnagiri, Udayagiri and Lalitgiri URL. Udayagiri, Ratnagiri and Lalitgiri are the three Buddhist heritage sites that form the diamond triangle. The diamond triangle was an important center for Vajrayana or Tantric Buddhism. Which of the statement given above is or are correct? Only one, only two, both, or neither. So what according to you is the answer of this particular question? If you know about it, you can post it in the comment section. Also, our March batch, Sampurna batch, prelims to interview batch, where you will get full refund for clearing prelims, where if you are monthly top performer, you will get rupees 11,000, where there is an interview guidance program, Prelims and Mains Residential Program. If you want to be a part of it, you can join our Sampurna March batch. Batch is starting on 7th March 2025, 6 p.m. And yes, do tell me the answer of the current affair question which I just asked. And if you want me, or if you want this particular PDF, you don't want me, if you want me to share this particular PDF, you can join this particular Telegram channel. That is Fun Study with Shubh, because study should be fun. So there I will share this PDF along with the answer of the current affair question I just asked. And you can also post your answer of the current affair question in the comment section. So that's it from me, sir and ma'am.